multiple catches. This is very, very important. Multiple catches. Maybe we have multiple errors. Okay, so in that case, how to handle this, all this error? Okay, so in that case, we need multiple catch clauses. Okay, so we need multiple catch. That means we try here, then we write the code here. Then after that, the code, any problem here, maybe we have multiple problems here, exception thrown. Then we catch. This is for one problem. Then we put catch another problem. Use the exception handling. Then after that, you go to the multiple catches, another problem. So we can catch for each of the catch. We'll get one problem and give the outputs. Okay, let's move to the code here. We have multiple problem here. Okay, so we use the class name is multi-catch, right? Then we use the try block. Inside the try block, we have a code of multi-problems. Okay, so look at here. So a argument length, we put the length, whatever the length we input, it might be 0, it might be more than 1. So now look at here, a value, we put the a value. Okay, for example, we put the value a equal to, there is nothing, we put the value, so a will be 0, for example. Now we want to calculate here. So 42 divided by 0. This is not acceptable. That means this is an error, right? So for these cases, we use the arithmetic exception. First case, catch arithmetic exception. So it will display divided by 0 errors. Okay, if we put the a is 0, so it will give this output, right? Okay, next comes to the array. The problem of array. We have only one element to declare here. 0 element. That means first location of the array. But we are finding out the value from the array elements located as 42. So this is basically, we don't have the array elements, is 42. So what happened? Then it will catch here. And we use the exception handling techniques, use the method or class we call the array index out of bound exception. And then once this is happened, it will give you the output is array index OOB. Okay, so we can handle multiple, you know, the exception, multiple errors using the multiple classes, one for arithmetic exception and another for the array index out of bound exception. So I hope you understand the concept how you can handle multiple, you know, the exceptions. Okay, move to the next. Okay, now comes to the checked exception. In case of checked exception, okay, we need to check the exception. How to do this one? Okay, we have a, for example, try block here. Then we run the P2. Okay, so here try catch block, try and catch block. So it's come to here. We throw the exception first. Then we run P2. If any problem coming, then it comes to catch block, and then it will get the exception and it will give the output. Clear? All right. So we can handle this one. This is called the checked exception. Okay, now catching the checked exception using the try block, try catch block. Okay, so input we run the this is the red integer, input value equals 0. Then we use the try block, similar. Input system read, it will read the input value. If any problem happened here, then it will catch the exception, and then after that it will display error. Okay, if there is any error, it will give you the error message. All right, I hope you understand that how check exception is working. Next, declare the check exceptions. How to declare the check exception in the throws clause. Okay, so you have to use second one, throw exception, and this is the if read the instruction, any problem happen, then using the try block, it run the read integer. If any problem here occur, then it will catch. Okay, then throw the input output exceptions. So we can get the output. Call a function called a print stack trace, e.print stack trace. That means it will give you the problem coming from the system. All right. So how it works? So we know already using the try catch block, and also you need to throw the clause, and then after that you get the using the catch block, you can get the output from there. Next. Okay, runtime. This is we call the unchecked. That means the compiler cannot check this one. Okay, in that case, what you can do, look at here, I equal to 10, 0, we put the value, initial value to 0. So 10 divided by 0, what happened? That means this is the problem with calculation. It cannot be accepted. So during the runtime, it will execute. So we can handle this one using the runtime exceptions. Okay. So this is unchecking. How you do these things? Look at this example. Try block. So 10 divided by 0, whatever the value we have. Then we use the arithmetic exception. Previously, I will also given the example of arithmetic exceptions. So any problem coming from these calculations, then it will catch through the arithmetic exceptions, the object from the class, and then it will display e.get message. So message coming from the runtime exceptions. Okay, I understand how to check the unchecked exception. All right. Now this comes to another example here, throwing exceptions, how to throw the exception. Of course, this is the class we actually implement on the shape. So the circle class is using the interface shape interface. Then we define the double type radius and we pass the value. If the radius, look at here, radius less than 0. Radius less than 0, then of course it will handle the exception using the exception. Throw new illegal exceptions. Then radius, what is the value there, negative value, then it can catch. Later on, we can catch and display the output. All right. So now comes here how to catch this one. So the file 1, this is the class name. Then we read the file and then throw the exception. Of course, you need to throw the exceptions. Then the file throw exception found, file not found exception. That means here the example is showing you want to open a file, for example. If the file is not exist, then it will give you the error message missing file. So now we throw this one, throw the file not found exception, missing file. Okay, so if the file is not exist, then it will give you the missing file. So you can use here try block, then you read the file abc, the text file. We're going to open this file is not exist. If file is not exist, then we got the error message and it will display the error message using the file not found exceptions, and through the object of this file not found exception class, then we can print the message. Then it will show you the error message that file is not exist or missing file. All right. So I hope you understand this concept, how actually the error can be found during runtime executions and how you can protect your system. Okay. Now comes to the finally clause. Okay, the finally clause I already explained to you. That means if you run your program, that means if you try catch block. So if any problem coming in the other catch block, it will display the output. For example, you don't have any problem with any of the catch blocks. So lastly, it will come to the finally block and it will display the output. All right, so you know there is no problem in the previous catches. Okay, how it looks like. This is the try block, finally one. Then the multiple try block, catch block, and the final. That means if there is no problem in the other catch blocks, of course the finally block will execute, no matter you have any problem or not. Okay, look at this example. All right. Okay, so we have the class demo. Okay, comes to here, try block. Okay, proc A. Okay, once you run this one proc A, that means this comes to proc A. Okay, then it will start the try block. It will display inside proc A, right? Okay, then after that, throw new runtime exception, right? Then this is no problem. For example, then it come to the finally, and it will display proc A finally, proc A is finally. Then come to the catch block. Actually, it's catch and display. Okay, now it's display the next one. Okay, after that exception cut. Then it's come to proc B function. Proc B function is here. So it will come here try block. Then it will display system inside B, inside proc B. Then it comes to finally. It comes to finally. And proc B is finally, this done already. Now come to proc C is here. Okay, try block, inside the try block, inside proxy, and then come to finally block, and it will display proxies finally. Okay, so you got the idea of how the finally block is working. Okay, every time the finally block will give the output. All right. Next, user-defined exception. User-defined exceptions, that means if you create any exception, then we call this is user-defined exception. The exception created by the user. Okay, so created exception, actually we can create from exception, or we can create from the runtime exceptions. Okay, let's see how we can do these things. Look at this example. Okay, my exception, remember, my exception extends from exception. That means exception is the parent class. This is already predefined class. Okay, now you're going to create your own. Your own class name is my exception. All right, then my exception, we're going to passing the message here. Now here, you create your own step 1. Okay, step 2, you need to throw. Okay, how to throw this exception? Then you use your own throws my exception. That is your user-defined exception. Now, third step is you are going to use the try catch block. Catch. Okay, try, then you run catch. My exception. Then this is the object, and then you can display the output through your own user-defined exceptions. Okay, I hope you understand how to create your user-defined exception. Right. Next, another example is here. Okay, my ABC exception. Okay, extend from exception class. Right. Now we can use this one. For example, here, try block. Then we use the add. Okay, catch. You give catch block. Then user define my ABC exception here. My ABC exception. So you can create the object from there. Then you can print e.printinfo. So once you call e.printinfo, it comes here and display this output. Okay. Okay, I understand how to create the user-defined exception.